That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is a milestone episode for us, easy for me to say. It's episode 50, The Greater Power. We're covering May through into June of 1999. I'm Mike Prue along with JV. JV, how's it going here for our 50th episode?
Dude, it's going great. 50 episodes in.
50 episodes, chronological episodes.
Yeah, that's...
Never mind the special editions and watch-alongs and top fives.
The number for the show specifically, that's a big deal.
Yeah, 50 episodes of telling a story of Austin's career.
When you start something like this, you really got to commit. And we've done a good job commitment, so I'm going to pat ourselves on the back here and say, good job, Mike. Thank you.
Good job, JV.
Thanks for all the work you do. We wouldn't be at 50 episodes deep without all the hard work you do beforehand. So,
and same to you with getting it edited and getting it up there. So, team effort here.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What do you got?
How about I was gonna say when I first mapped these out,
better be worth it because you cut me off.
Yeah. Well, when I first mapped these out, I had it as like 60 episodes and we'd be done with it. But it just changed into something a little different than I envisioned.
Was that in your original presentation deck to me? This was only supposed to be 60 episodes?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was just counting pay-per-view matches.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we can't cover a whole month in one episode. It'll take forever for us to prep for it. It'll be long-ass episodes.
Imagine how long those episodes would be. Listeners, you'd all be 5 hours deep until 1996.
Yeah.
One sitting.
So we just, do a deep dive basically into like 2 weeks at a time. Sometimes 3 weeks, but generally 2 weeks at a time. But here we are, going into the end of May into June, and we got the Greater Power. So Stone Cold just lost his title at Over the Edge, which we covered last week on episode 49. And Undertaker is now the champion, and Undertaker says he's going to reveal the Greater Power now that he has the championship. So we know where this is going for the most part. And maybe there's some new people that don't know anything about Austin's career and just been following along with us, which would be awesome. That was happening. But I would figure most of you know what's going to happen here. And we'll get to that.
Yeah,
and even if you didn't watch it, you've seen the memes. Yeah, right, and we've said it numerous times already. But, let's just get into it because there's a lot of stuff to get into today on this episode. But before we do, I always have to point out, check us out. JV and I do the Extreme ECW Live Cast on the Book in the Territory Patreon feed at the $5 tier. And this week, coming out later today, is episode 10. Which we cover Hardcore TV, episodes 21 and 22 from August 31st and September 7th, 1993. And this time it's a 3-man booth, not just JV and I. Jay Free from Your Geek joins us to watch some 1993 ECW. And that was fun to record.
Yeah, that was really fun. I mean, because he had no, he was as lost as we were when we started.
Yep.
Like on episode 1. So episode 2, you can tell there was like... almost like culture shock. Not culture shock, but you know what I mean? Like that feeling you get when you have culture shock.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? I'm not used to this.
ECW in 1993. Yeah.
Right. For us now at this point, 21 and 22 episodes in, it's familiar to us now. So it's just, okay, this is what's going on. Yeah. This is what it's like. And it doesn't seem strange anymore.
I'll get through the shitty production value and all that. I'm over it now.
Yeah. And so we do those watch along style. So if you want to check out some ECW, check out the Booking the Territory Patreon feed, the $5 tier. You can get those episodes there, along with a lot of the other great shit that they have on Booking the Territory Patreon feed. All right, so with that out of the way, let's now move on to Heat. And this Heat is coming from Moline, I don't know. Is it Moline or Moline? But it's in Illinois, whatever it is. And it's May 30th, 1999. This was taped on May 25th, 1999. And Austin's going to cut a promo. And last week, we didn't have much for audio, but this week we got a shit ton. So, and it's a lot of good shit. So
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
All right, so we're going to kick it off with an Austin promo. And he finishes up Heat. So this is at the very end of the Heat 44 from May 30th, 1999. So let's take a listen to Austin as he is a little dicked off from losing his world championship, as you would figure he would be. Take a listen.
I ain't got a whole lot to be happy about, so let me get right to the point. Shane McMahon, you are a sorry son of a bitch.
Well, he got to the point.
Undertaker, you are a big dead, sorry son of a bitch. What happened last Sunday at Over the Edge is I got tripped up right in this very ring, and Shane McMahon, that to me is a big bunch of crap, and I ain't gonna come out here and cry about it, but I will say to The Undertaker, there is no way that you can look in my eyes and say that you're the World Wrestling Federation champion. As far as tomorrow night on Raw goes, they always say, Undertaker, that paybacks are hell, so tomorrow night, you will be going straight to hell with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm not gonna come out here and ask for a rematch for the simple fact of, and I'm trying to watch my language, but the bottom line is, you're too much of a chicken to give me a rematch. I will tell you this, you better have eyes in the back of your head, because I will beat your ass like there's no tomorrow, and that's all I got to say about that.
We may not have to wait until tomorrow night, Michael. The Undertaker's music.
Austin, when are you going to realize I do have eyes in the back of my head? I see everything. I see every step you take. I feel every breath you take. I've only waited for the appropriate time. Well, Austin, the time is at hand. Tomorrow night, you will come face to face with what you fear. You see, Austin, this is not about rematches. This is not about titles. It's about a gift that I must give him, that I've promised him. So tomorrow night on Raw, Austin, I will take your mind, your broken body, and your wretched soul, and I will present it to him as the ultimate gift. And along with the entire world, you will look into his eyes and you will see your future. And at that moment, you then will realize that he is your Lord, he is your Savior. And from that moment on, he will forevermore be the guiding light for whom you follow. Austin, May he have mercy on your wretched soul.
Well, then I will tell you this. You can have my mind, you can have my broken body, but you can't have my soul or my beer, because I'm going to put this sole of my boot in your ass. And when I get through putting the sole of my boot in your ass, I'll be drinking beer all night long, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
All right, so Austin comes out there. He calls Shane a sorry son of a bitch. He follows up with The Undertaker, says, "You are a big dead son of a bitch." So he's just calling them sons of bitches because they screwed him out of the championship. McMahon pushed Shane, which pushed him to trip over Undertaker, and Undertaker rolled him up, and then Shane, as the referee, did a super fast count and gave the title to The Undertaker. So, rightfully so, Austin's pissed. Okay, Austin even reenacts Shane giving the fast count. He gets on the mat, does the count, showing how he got screwed.
All I can think about is look how fast he gets down and gets up. Like, if I do that, man, I'd be winded. I'm like,
yeah,
I gotta cut a fucking promo now. Come on.
Well, that's why he's a
commercial break.
Professional athlete.
Yeah, exactly.
So Austin says, to me, it's a big bunch of crap, but I'm not going to cry about it. But I will say to The Undertaker, there is no way, if you look into my eyes and say you are the World Wrestling Federation champion. I like that. Just to point out, yeah, you may have won, but you're not the champ. Everyone knows I'm the champ. I just don't have it. And I don't have it because I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'm always put in the spot where I have to chase this title.
Yeah.
Even if it's mine, they'll take the belt away from me, and I have to chase for just to have the possession of the belt. Yeah. So he's always chasing. So it's just another one of those scenarios. So now I'll be chasing The Undertaker. So Austin tells The Undertaker, "You're going straight to hell with Stone Cold Steve Austin the next night on Raw." Austin says he doesn't want to ask for a rematch, but the bottom line is you're too chicken shit to give me a rematch. So I was doing a little reverse psychology on The Undertaker there. So he follows that up. He says, "You better have eyes in the back of your head because I'll beat your ass like there's no tomorrow." And that's all I got to say about that. That should be a damn t-shirt. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's funny because every time I hear that, even though he says it a lot, I still think of when Forrest Gump says it.
Yeah.
Like how he ends his speech in the Vietnam speech in Forrest Gump, and that's all I have to say about that.
Exactly.
I don't know why. But sorry, Stone Cold. That one goes to Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump.
That'd be funny if you had a shirt of like Stone Cold Steve Austin wearing Forrest Gump's clothes, sitting on a bench.
Yeah, you're onto something.
With the little caption. That's all I gotta say about that.
Any video editors know how to make that? Send us a
yes.
Send us a picture if you're good with that shit.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it. Yeah, that'd be great. Sure. All right, so Undertaker's music hits. It's at 42 minutes, so that's just 2 minutes of going by at that point. Undertaker comes out. When are you gonna realize I have eyes in the back of my head and I see everything? So that worked out because it was scripted well because Austin said it. You better have eyes in the back of your head. And then The Undertaker, he continues on to say it. And it had to be in a script for him to come up with that.
Yeah.
Because he's not coming up with good shit on the fly. There's no way.
But if he did, that's like a...
Yeah, that was a good one for him. Yeah.
It's like Ace King in the hole right there.
Obviously he's not listening, but he's probably, I did come up with that, goddammit. I deserve credit for that.
Listen, you nerdy sons of bitches.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
How old are you guys anyway?
Yeah.
Fucking 30s? You're talking shit about another grown man? It gets really dark when you start thinking about
I know. It's like, but we were kids when we seen it originally, so
yeah.
you know.
I'm 35 and I still feel the same way now.
Yeah. No, it's the truth, and there's not much growing up going on.
No.
You grow up in the sense that you pay your bills, and
Yeah, exactly.
you know you have relationships, you have kids, and you do all those things, but your mind really doesn't.
Yeah.
You pretend you grew up, but you didn't really grow up.
You try,
Yeah.
you never really do.
Right. So Undertaker, he continues on, and he, like we said, we just gave him credit for that. And actually, I didn't really give him credit for it, but that was a good line. And he's going to follow it up now with saying, I feel every breath you take. And I just thought of Sting and the police right away.
Yeah, that's funny. It's also creepy. So you go from scary to like creepy in a creepy, rapey way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he was just creepy, rapey guy not that long ago.
Yeah.
Sending dick pics to Stephanie.
Yeah.
So, oh man, that's funny. When we reveal who the greater power is, that you allowed for that storyline wise, obviously.
I didn't even think of that. That's hilarious.
All right, so he goes, you'll look into the eyes and see your future. Then you'll realize he is your Lord, he is your Savior. He'll be your guiding light, Austin. May he have mercy over your wretched soul. Small lame shit. But the greater power is going to be revealed. And the reveal, and we'll get into it obviously, but thinking ahead to what the reveal is and knowing like nothing really happens after that. And they're making it sound like something's going to happen. You're going to be, he's your Lord and Savior, he's your guiding light. And then it just pisses them off to find out who it is, so it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, the greater power is to be revealed the next night. Austin responds to him, you can have my mind, you can have my broken body, but you can't have my soul or my beer. Because I'm going to put this soul of my boot up your ass. And when I'm done, I'll be drinking beers all night long. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. I like that. He just worked in the beers. Like, hey, I'm drinking beers.
Yeah.
Like,
Smooth. Clever.
Yeah, he's just like, screw you.
That's the part everyone really, really likes about him is beer. So
That's true.
good plug.
All right, so now we move on to Raw 314 from May 31st. And this was recorded the same night as this heat. So this crowd's getting all this in one night here. All right, so the corporate ministry is going to come out to start this show. Shane McMahon, The Undertaker, and the rest of the flunkies just hanging out in the back. The Druids are going to come out. You always know something's up when the Druids come out.
Yeah.
But the Druids are here, and they carry out the Undertaker's symbol. And Shane and the Undertaker, the corporate ministry, then head out after them. And JR is like constantly early on in the night putting the fact over that the greater power is going to be revealed. And this episode is called The Greater Power. JR is calling him the greater power, but there's often times where they say the higher power.
Higher power. Yeah.
Yeah. Undertaker says higher
very
power.
Inconsistent.
Yeah. So it's like, Undertaker, you're the one, like, this is your storyline here. Get on board with commentary. Why are you saying higher power when everyone else is saying greater power?
I got to the point where I didn't know what to call it anymore.
Yeah.
As I was watching this, I was like, it's the same?
And it was tricky for me to come up with the episode title because I didn't want people thinking that I'm an idiot. It's not greater power, it's higher power.
It's just said the greater, higher power. Greater or higher power.
Yeah, no shit, huh? All right, so Shane's out there, and let's take a listen to him. All right, so Shane's going to be bragging, so let's hear what he has to say. Take a listen.
Opinion, you can hear the chant. And Shane doesn't like that chant.
It was this hand that changed the course of the World Wrestling Federation forever. You see, as the appointed official for the WWF Championship match between The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin just a little over 1 week ago, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin who felt Shane McMahon's ultimate power. As I looked down in his eyes, his shoulders were down on the mat, and I counted 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's a lie.
And that sweet sound of success resulted in the World Wrestling Federation Championship being around The Undertaker's waist.
It might have been a hair faster.
Austin, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. However, tonight, Stone Cold, there's just one more thing.
Uh-oh.
Austin, whether you want to accept the fact or not, the fact is this: I beat you up all over Kansas City, and I am the World Wrestling Federation champion, and you can't do anything about it. But you see, Austin, that was only phase 1. Phase 2 now begins. For the past 3 months, I promised him that on this night, I would deliver you mind, body, and soul. Tonight, right here in this very ring, the higher power will be here, and I will take you, Austin, and I will...
Come on! Crowd chanting for the rattlesnake.
Tonight, Austin, I will deliver you to him. You will look into his eyes, and you will see your Lord, your Savior, and your guiding light. Austin, it is your destiny. You will be presented with the most pride that anyone could present a gift with. And you, in front of all these millions of fans, will know he is indeed your Lord and Master.
Huh.
Undertaker.
Hey, wait. There's Vince McMahon.
All right, so Shane's out there. He's getting those loud asshole chants that you probably could hear on that audio clip. And Shane gets into the ring, and like Austin did the previous night, he's going to reenact his 3 count. But this is not a fast count. He does it so nice and slow. And JR points out, that's not how it was.
Yeah, complete dickhead about it. It was funny. I laughed. I was like,
it was funny.
Like he's showing someone how to properly do it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
We all know
like
he screwed him.
That's the speed he's at here.
Yep.
Go back and watch it. It's
funny. It is good. All right, so Shane says there's something in store for Austin. Taker says he's the champ and there's nothing Austin can do about it. Undertaker says that was phase 1. Phase 2 begins tonight. You know, for the past 3 months, I promised him. So, or admitting that the higher power, the greater power is a him. And on this night, I would deliver you, mind, body, and soul. Tonight in this ring, the higher power will be here. So the crowd's chanting for Austin. The crowd's chanting for Austin so loud, I think it messes with the Undertaker a little bit.
Yeah, this is a hot crowd in wherever the fuck you are, Illinois.
Yeah, Moline. I'm going to go with Moline. Moline,
Yeah,
or is it Moline?
Moline.
Moline.
Could be Moline.
It could be Moline.
Yeah, Moline sounds Canadian. Illinois is up by Canada. Moline.
Moline.
Right?
Yeah.
Moline, eh? Moline.
Whatever. Damn it. All right. Undertaker says the same shit that he said on Heat just earlier, basically. So the crowd's hearing the same shit again. He says, you're going to look into the eyes of your savior, your guiding light. Austin, this is your destiny. Undertaker's lines are just totally horrible.
Yeah.
Just the same blah shit. I liked when he didn't talk.
Yeah, I like this period where he's talking a lot isn't as a grown up at least.
Yeah.
Doesn't kind of makes me cringe. It's a lot of cringy Undertaker moments.
Yeah, it's all, 1999 has a lot of cringy shit.
Yeah.
All right, so Vince McMahon heads out, and this is the good Vince McMahon, the union Vince McMahon. He has this union, but the ironic thing is he doesn't let his guys be in a union.
Yeah, right.
So
he's wicked anti-union.
Yeah,
he does not want the wrestlers to ever have a union.
So we got the the rolled up sleeves type Vince McMahon coming out here, and he's gonna talk to Shane and the Undertaker. So let's take a listen to what Vince McMahon has to say.
Undertaker, Shane, I hope you enjoy your moment of basking in your glory, because that's just about all it's going to be. Just a moment.
What's he talking about?
You see, Undertaker, you didn't defeat Stone Cold for the WWF title. No. Undertaker, you screwed Austin.
Hell yeah. That's exactly right.
So therefore, tonight, I'm gonna screw you.
What? Wow. How's he gonna do that? I don't know. But Vince means it. Look at his eyes.
Tonight, Undertaker, in the very ring that you stand, you will compete. And you will defend the WWF Championship.
Uh-oh.
And you will defend it against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right. No, wait a minute. Austin, the Undertaker tonight. That's not what Shane said.
Hey, Vince, you forget that I'm in control of half this company. And by the way, I'm calling the shots.
Told you.
So I'll tell you one thing. The Undertaker would be happy to annihilate Stone Cold Steve Austin here tonight. However, it will not be for the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
I gotta tell you, title or no title, Austin's gonna wipe the mat with your carcass here tonight, Undertaker.
Undertaker and Austin here tonight? Can't believe
In Stone Cold's own words, Austin's gonna kick your ass. But you know what? Undertaker, look at me when I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Before Austin kicks your ass tonight, I'm gonna give you the privilege of kicking mine.
What's he saying?
You see, for what you did to my daughter Stephanie, for the hell you put my wife Linda through, for the fact that you turned my own son against me, you turned Shane into some sort of monster, the fact that you screwed Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, I may not get very much of you, but tonight, I'm gonna get me some.
Wow, Vince McMahon challenged
That's it, Vince. That's it. You finally found your grapefruits. I like that. I like to reward bravado. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Tonight, if Vince, by some miracle, you were able to defeat The Undertaker in this very ring, then tonight, the WWF Championship will be on the line with Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker. However, this just in, a quick added stipulation. If anybody in the back, any members of the Union, or Stone Cold Steve Austin himself interfere with your match with The Undertaker, then Austin will lose his championship privileges, meaning no title shot.
That's not fair.
All right, Shane, you're on. Because when you think about it, I've got everything to gain and just about nothing to lose.
Well, I guarantee you one thing, knowing Vince McMahon, Vince is not going to come out here alone. He'll have some sort of equalizer. I can darn near guarantee it.
Well, Vince, you might not have much to lose, except maybe a few teeth. However, I'll tell you one thing. Stone Cold Steve...
Please!
Stone Cold Steve Austin has quite a bit to lose. You see, Vince, because if you do not defeat The Undertaker in this very ring here tonight, then Austin will never, and I mean never, ever again, get a shot at the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
Now, how fair is that, King? How fair is that?
All right, so Vince goes out there, and he tells Shane and The Undertaker, I hope you enjoyed your moment of glory, because that's all it's going to be. Just a moment. That you didn't win the title, you screwed Austin. And tonight, I'm going to screw you. And when I heard that, I said, that doesn't sound right. You didn't win the title, you screwed Austin. It was just like, he shouldn't be saying that. He screwed Austin so many damn times. He's trying to be, the upstanding guy now. You screwed Austin out of the title. So Vince makes a match for The Undertaker to defend his title against Stone Cold Steve Austin. So Steve Austin's getting that rematch. But Shane says that he still has control of the company, of half of this company. So Shane says that they'll have a match, but it won't be for the championship. Vince agrees with it. He says, fine. Austin will kick The Undertaker's ass. That's good enough. So Vince demands that The Undertaker looks at him. You look at me when I'm talking to you. He says, I'm going to give you the privilege of kicking mine. So Vince puts himself in a match with The Undertaker.
Just fucking
yeah,
weird.
that doesn't sound right either. Why the hell would he do that? I guess as the babyface, he's trying to be, I'll fight you, anybody. But when he's the heel Vince McMahon, he's like, I don't want to get in the ring.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
he's not a bitch.
Right. Which we're going to see the following week with Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
All right, so Vince McMahon sets up the match. There's a couple more stipulations that get added. But Vince McMahon does have a funny line. He says, I may not get much of you tonight, but I'm going to get me some. What Vince says to The Undertaker. I want to get me some. I thought that was a pretty creative line. I may not get much, but I'm going to get me some. So Shane tells Vince that he finally found his grapefruits. Fucking grapefruits.
Shitty.
I'm sick of hearing balls being referred to as grapefruits.
Call them balls.
Yeah, just say balls.
Don't call them grapefruits. Only call them cojones if you're fucking Alberto Del Rio.
Well, Ken Shamrock says cojones at one point during these shows.
Oh, does he? I didn't notice. But never, ever use grapefruit.
No. So Shane says because he's willing to fight The Undertaker, since he has his grapefruits back, that he's proud of his dad for that. So if Vince wins, then the title will be on the line for the Austin Undertaker match. But if anyone interferes in Vince Undertaker match, Austin or the Union, then Austin loses his title shot. So Vince agrees to that. He says he has nothing to lose. So you're going to get that match. The fans chant asshole again. Shane adds another stipulation. Says Vince has to win or Austin will never get a title shot again. How many fucking stipulations they could have had to every single match?
I know, damn. It's confusing
right
at this point.
It's like, what is it now? I'm already forgetting.
People at this point, most of the fan base at this point are just like, where's the bear? Where's the bikini matches?
Yeah, no shit. Where's the hoe train?
Yeah, because if you watch, those are the biggest pops.
Oh, yeah, every single time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
All right, so just another like a side thing that was going on is Triple H is out there, and I wrote in my note, I said, it looks like he's got a Catwoman costume on.
Yeah, he does with like the platinum leather.
And it has like
they put on sneakers.
Right, and it like zips up at the waist too, to go up to his chest. So it's like a slit. It's like creepy. Fucking that is Catwoman clothes. I mean, that's like Sable's outfit.
Yeah, he had China's wardrobe on.
China and Sable, like Sable from like 1996, with Mark Merrow, the Wild Man. All right, so right after that audio, there's they start to head up to the ramp, but then Austin's music hits, and Austin jumps out of nowhere and attacks The Undertaker, and this is at 14 minutes. And the corporate ministry begins to beat up Austin. The Union comes out to make the save. So Austin was one of the Druids, hanging back. And once they left, he attacked from behind, took his robe off. So now Austin and the Union stand in the ring, and the officials keep the corporate ministry out of the ring. And then that closes out that segment. Okay. Moments later, backstage, Austin pushes Test down to the ground. Ken Shamrock, wanna be Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock says, if this is the way you want it, Steve, you're on your own. So Austin is shown right away to not be aligned with the Union, basically, is why they did that. So Austin's supposed to be a loner.
It felt awkward. It felt so out of place, though.
It did.
Like forced.
Right, but they had to. They're like, we need to make sure people don't think he's part of this group. Because that's the last thing you need, is to have a big star like that.
There's really no other way to. Yeah, there's really no other way to get it across rather than being very blunt about it.
So, Ken Shamrock, that's the way you want it. You're on your own then.
WWF's like, no, we're not putting Austin with this stupid ass stable we created. He's not aligned with these clowns in any way.
All right, so.
And they probably didn't want that star aligned with a team called the Union.
Exactly. That would have sucked. All right, so we move on to that match now. Undertaker versus McMahon with all these stipulations. And this is at 41 minutes and goes to 45 minutes. So not very long at all. Leading up to this match, Briscoe and Patterson encourage Vince not to go through with this, which is what they always do. I feel like I've seen that segment so many times. Come on, Vince, don't do it, man. Come on. Don't do it. I'm going to do it. So, you had that. And then we get to the match now. So, again, for those out there that need to recap, like I do, if Vince loses, Austin will never get a title shot. If Vince wins, Austin's match tonight will be for the championship. And nobody can interfere. If anyone interferes, Austin doesn't get his title shot tonight. There it is again. All right, so Paul Bearer comes out to the ring, and he's carrying the belt for The Undertaker. And Austin's in the back watching on the camera. On a monitor. Vince comes down and slides into the ring, and that immediately made me think of the time that he slides into the ring and blows out his legs.
Oh, that's crazy when that happens. That's fucking shocking.
Oh, man. And he did the same exact kind of slide into the ring that caused it. So I was like, oh, shit. So Vince gets his ass kicked, basically, by The Undertaker. Vince tries to fight back a little bit, but he gets tossed into the corner and gets pounded on by The Undertaker. Undertaker tosses Earl Hebner, which I had to make note of because I was like, all right, hell yeah. Knock that fucking little dude down. And he chokes out Vince. Then
got to get your Earl Hebner hate out
early
here.
So,
because I think there's more to him.
So Earl Hebner gets tossed down that one time. He starts choking. Undertaker starts choking Vince, and then Earl Hebner gets pushed down a second time. And then Earl Hebner rings for the bell and DQs Undertaker. So that means Vince McMahon's the winner, and Austin will get his title shot. Nobody interfered. So Austin's pleased. He's going to get his title shot. And Patterson and Briscoe come out, and they get beat down by The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker chases Earl Hebner through the crowd. Actually, no, it's not Earl Hebner because he's already knocked down. It was Jimmy Caderas, I think. No, it was the other one. It was the flat top guy. Chioda. Mike Chioda.
Mike Chioda, right? I always say his name wrong. It's Chioda, though.
So, that's where we end up there. Immediately after, Michael Cole's going to interview Austin, so take a listen to that It's only 20 seconds, but take a listen to Michael Cole with Stone Cold in the back.
Caught up with a rattlesnake.
Stone Cold, I never thought I would say this, but thanks to an assist from Vince McMahon, your match against The Undertaker tonight is for the WWF Championship.
Well, you're damn right it's for the WWF Championship, but I never asked for an assist from anyone. Vince McMahon, Union, nobody. And if that's all you got to say with your little smart ass, I suggest you get out of here before I punch you right in your little mouth.
All right, so not much there, but there was something that I thought was funny, and that's Michael Cole comes out. He says, the match tonight is going to be for the WWF Championship. Austin's basically like, yeah, no shit. I was paying attention. I know what's happening. My title shot.
I don't really see what purpose this served, other than just like fun.
Yeah, but maybe they wanted Austin on camera because he wasn't up there before for the other part of it.
All right, yeah,
so it's
yeah. Because the ratings war is basically over.
Yeah, they win every week at this point. Yeah, WCW is falling apart by summer of '99, and not too soon after this, that's when Vince Russo is going to jump over to WCW and leave.
And that's when it really goes off the rails.
Yeah, because he has freedom to do whatever he wants, and no Vince McMahon saying, nah, maybe not that. He has no filter.
When I was like young and naive, I thought like I had like a conspiracy theory that WWF purposely let him go there just to be like the nail in the coffin. Like, hey, do all this fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yep, go there and just.
Oh, really? That's what I think.
You never know. Could be. All right, so at 53 minutes into the show, Shane McMahon's going to throw a major temper tantrum in the locker room, and he's like throwing shit all around, breaking shit, throwing chairs around. So he's pissed that Vince won the match by DQ. The Undertaker has to defend the title. Another segment about 15 minutes later at 1 hour 9 minutes, Undertaker's talking to the greater power, and you can only see the Undertaker, but he's supposed to be talking to the greater power, and it's like he's Darth Vader talking to the Emperor. You know, when
it's a total rip-off of that.
I will not disappoint him.
This whole thing is like has its
It
Star
does.
Wars fucking.
And it goes back to,
well, the movies were re-released.
Right. What we said I think it was last week, I said that Vince Russo must have loved the horror movies of the 90s because he's bringing so many of those elements into the story too. But Star Wars was also just re-released a couple years before, so it was getting popular again. The toys were popular again in around 95 through 97. And then the build for the new movie, the new trilogy, had started by 98. And then the movie was released. Phantom Menace came out in May 99. And what is the greater power? The greater power is Phantom Menace. So they basically just ripped off Phantom Menace for the story angle, which I didn't really think of until we started doing this. I didn't think of it at the time.
Yeah,
but,
they robbed from.
But yeah, the Phantom Menace is the Emperor in the Star Wars universe, because he wasn't revealed to be the Emperor yet. He was still just the Senator, then the Chancellor. But he was the Phantom Menace the whole time. Yeah. He was the greater power.
Yep.
All along.
Yep.
So that's what's going on here. Thanks to Vince Russo. All right, now we get to this championship match. We get a rematch just a week after Undertaker wins the title. And this match is going to start at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 10 seconds. So it's going to go to the end of the show. And we still haven't got the reveal of the greater power. So let's see what's going to happen here. Yeah, the Undertaker comes out to the ring with the championship belt, but he's wearing a Smoking Skull championship belt. So that's kind of like insult to injury, is to be wearing Austin's Smoking Skull belt. And JR on commentary is still calling it the personal property of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And JR even says, "What do you mean personal property?" And JR responds with, "It's not rocket science. It's personal property means it's his." And Lawler's trying to argue that he's not the champion. The Undertaker's the champion. It's like, yeah, but it's his fucking belt. He made it. He got it made.
No shit.
Undertaker can go on to wear the Big Eagle. He doesn't have to wear Austin's.
A fucking smoking skull belt. Yeah.
So Austin sprints down to the ring once his music hits, and he attacks Undertaker's legs. So nice hot start to this match. Austin pulls him into the post. He wraps his legs around it a few times, and then the bell finally rings to really kick off the match. And Austin's still just continuing on the Undertaker. He hits a Luthez press early, elbow drop, goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. Clothesline moments later is going to send Taker to the floor. He lands on his feet. Undertaker lands on his feet and then pulls Austin out of the ring. They brawl onto the floor. Austin grabs a chair. Taker kicks Austin in the gut. He drops the chair. Earl Hebner is counting outside of the ring, like telling them to get back in the ring, which annoys me. You can do that from inside the ring. You don't have to get out on the floor and yell at him and be all pissy. Just follow the rules and say, like, why is he so invested in it? Like, he's pissed off that they're doing what they want to do.
Yeah, he looks like a whiny little fucking
right.
all the time.
It's like, just stay in the ring. If they don't want to get back in the ring, call it a double count out and then leave. Go back to the locker room and have a beer. Don't get all upset about it. So I thought it was funny, though. He's counting, and then he's right on the side of Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer turns right to him and says, "Damn you to hell." It's just so funny. It's right in his face. Austin gets back body drop out on the outside of the ring on the concrete. It's a little open area of concrete, which is weird. But Austin gets dropped onto it, and Austin was attempting a pile driver, which dumb. The Undertaker is too big for you to try to attempt a pile driver on. So Undertaker reverses it. Austin's knee is said to be injured at this point. They get back into the ring. Undertaker starts choking Austin out, and Austin's going to make his comeback moments later. He drops Taker and goes for a 2 count after hitting another Luthez press. And so he's gone for the Luthez press twice this time. In the last match, Over the Edge, I liked the Undertaker's counter to the Luthez press. He just caught him and gave him a spine buster. And he didn't repeat that move here. He just took the Luthez press twice. Undertaker reverses a whip, and Austin gets a big boot to the face, and then clotheslines Undertaker. Goes for another count, only to get a 2 count. And they fight back onto the floor, and Austin hits him with a post, and they start fighting up the aisleway. So now this is very similar to what was going on in the Over the Edge match. It's like basically the same setup with a few different spots. Like I said, the Luthez press counter wasn't used in this match, but the basic structure of it is pretty much the same.
But he tried to pile driver on a guy fucking
Right, that's
not twice his size, but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
So we got a basic copy of what we just watched a week before. Taker's going to block a suplex and counter one with his own, so that was a nice spot. Suplex onto the ramp. Austin's knee hits the steel ramp, so they just said that Austin's knee was injured. So it looks like he's working on the knee now, slamming it onto the ramp. Taker gets a 2 count after Austin tries to body slam him. So Austin's trying to pile drive Undertaker, and then he's trying to body slam Undertaker. And Taker basically lateral presses Austin from the body slam. So he just falls on him, essentially, is what would happen here. And he gets a 2 count. Undertaker gets a 2 count on Austin there. Austin starts to fight back. He gets Taker on the middle rope. Austin's going to try to do the leg drop onto the rope. He misses, and he bounces pretty far. He bounces off the middle rope and then to the center of the ring.
Yeah, that was I paid attention to that because you pointed it out in your notes.
It just bounced.
Yeah. Like, no, I totally didn't put myself here.
So right after that, Undertaker calls for the match to be over, and he does his little throat slicing motion. And Taker's going to whip Austin into the ropes. And Taker goes for a lariat, but Austin is going to duck. He's going to hit a gut shot and then nail Undertaker with a stunner at 1 hour, 29 minutes. And then Earl Hebner goes to make the cover, but he has like half his body out of the fucking ring on Paul Bearer's side. So Paul Bearer just, like, if you were paying attention to it closely, Paul Bearer, like with so much ease, just fucking tosses Earl Hebner out of the ring.
I know. You know what's weird is how Earl Hebner slides into like the perfect spot for Paul Bearer to do it. It's like totally bad officiating. Put himself in a very vulnerable spot.
Right, where he's about to pin the heel. The heel's manager's right there. What do you think's going to happen if you slide over there? So Paul Bearer just whips him right out of the ring, and that ends the match. So Austin heads back into the ring, and they call for a DQ. All right, so Earl Hebner calls for the DQ after being tossed to the mat by Paul Bearer, and Bossman comes in. Bossman gets stunned. The rest of the corporate ministry come in, and they attack Austin. They get him tied up into the ropes. And then we get what is to seem like to be the reveal. The Undertaker gets into the ring, gets on his knees, and he summons the greater power. Then Druid music plays. And take a listen to it. A couple minutes of how this episode closes out. So take a listen.
What? Where is it? Say it's not here. Didn't you see earlier in the show when the Undertaker, every time he mentioned the greater power, he looked right at Shane? I saw that. Yeah, dimwit. Well, the higher power, greater power. Look at all the corporate ministry on one knee. And Austin tied up in those ropes. Austin is absolutely helpless. Nowhere for the rattlesnake to go. Feel the tension here, JR? This is great. The Undertaker said on Heat that he was going to serve up Austin to the greater power tonight on Raw. And apparently, that's what we're about to witness. The entire ministry is down on their knees. It's as if the Undertaker is paying homage to the greater power. Can you see his face? I cannot see this individual's face. Austin being restrained by the corporate ministry. It's gotta be. What's he doing? Look! The greater power just revealed himself to Austin. Austin saw it. Austin's in shock. What? The rattlesnake looks like he's just seen a ghost. Who is it? Who the hell is it? Who the hell's the greater power?
All right, so the greater power is coming out there, walking all slow. And, hey, he's dressed up like the Emperor. Who would have thought? So you have him coming out basically dressed as a druid, but, typical.
Yeah, he's just got his arms out like he's fucking like a witch.
Right.
No.
So the greater power gets in the ring, and Austin's still tied up in the ropes, and then the greater power, leans into Austin, and then I don't even think he, removes his hood or anything. Well, he gets close enough, I guess, where Austin can notice who it is, and Austin calls him a son of a bitch, and JR says, "Who the hell is it? Who the hell is it?" So the greater power was revealed to Austin, but not to us yet, and they go off the air.
Which is ridiculous. That was such a bad move.
Yeah, do it now. Yeah. Should have just done it then.
And he was able to keep it I don't know.
Right. And Austin didn't want to say anything? For the whole week? He didn't tell anybody? Well, he did tell somebody.
I guess, yeah. All right, yeah. I take that back.
Yeah. But he didn't tell the public. He didn't tell the announcers or anything. Well, yeah, so since we're at this point where the greater power is about to be revealed, who are some of the people that you thought may have been the greater power?
I don't remember, but my gut says I was probably thinking someone like Linda McMahon or someone at the time who may have been leaving WCW.
Okay.
We just knew their contract, but with what limited information we had in 1999, there wasn't as much leaked info on the internet as there is today. So
no.
So I was thinking probably Linda McMahon.
They did speculate. They did put some names out there. So, for instance, one of them was HBK. Could have been the greater power.
Yep.
Shane McMahon obviously was mentioned all the time, but that makes no sense because he's already the leader of the group.
That would have been terrible looking. Yeah, that would have been trash.
I mean, at least what they do is better than that because he's not in the group at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I think what they did was fine. I just think the early reveal was just odd to one person.
Yeah, that is shitty.
Well, I don't know.
Well, everybody
Maybe I liked
else
it back then because then I was thinking like, oh, Stone Cold knows who it is, but no one else does. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Probably made for better TV, actually.
And
as an unknown.
And everybody in the corporate ministry must know who it is too, right? You would think.
Yeah.
They don't seem surprised, right? And it didn't leak.
I would think they all knew, yeah. Because Triple H is almost borderline, like, yeah, he's like celebrating, like,
right?
Ha, 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 you know?
Yeah, exactly. So they were all in on it. But yeah, there would have been a freaking leak. You can't have a group of that many people and information doesn't get out. No way.
They're like, Minion, listen. Minion, listen. Don't tell anybody and we'll let you beat up Vince McMahon on Raw. You know? Huh? How about a rub like that? You know?
Another name that I did like that they mentioned was Jake the Snake. I think that could have worked.
Yeah, that was... I don't think... I would have thought that was realistic. I think you're just throwing out names in Boston.
Yeah, they were just throwing their names out there, but... They were attached to his career, so... It could have been like somebody wanted revenge. Like Austin springboarded to what he is because he defeated Jake the Snake and cut that promo. So, 316.
Yep.
And then there was another one they mentioned was Ted DiBiase. I mean, he makes sense as a greater power because he's a millionaire, right? And he could be behind it the whole time and funding the corporate ministry or even funding the WWF. And
yeah, because he's got all the money.
Right. So that could have been cool. Another one I was thinking of, just because I was thinking, 1999, maybe this was right around the time when this was happening. But I looked and it was wrong. But Eric Bischoff, that would have been awesome. Because who would have suspected that? Or what would that mean? Like, for Eric Bischoff to come in at that point.
Yeah, but was he still showing up on TV at this point or no?
Yeah, he leaves WCW, I think September of '99. So he was still there. He was towards the end, about to get fired. But that could have been cool if the timing was right.
Yeah, that would have been fucking insane.
Right, the guy that they just went to war with has been the greater power. That could have been cool. All right, anyway, so we know what happens, but let's get into it. Now we're on the Heat 45 from June 6, 1999. It's a live episode of Heat in Long Island. And Austin's going to make a debut. We got a new shirt alert. It's another baseball jersey, and it has a skull on the back. It looks better than his last one, though. It's not that white one. It's black, so it looks pretty cool. But I wouldn't wear it anyway. So that's his new shirt. Austin's going to be on a rampage during this episode of Heat because he's pissed off because he found out who the greater power is, and he's just on a rampage throughout this episode. So we got a series of attacks. Draws and Albert head backstage after Draws has a squash loss to Big Show. They accidentally bump into Austin, who's right behind the curtain. So Austin's dicked off that they bumped into by accident, so he kicks the shit out of them. That's at 18 minutes and 16 seconds, and even Tony Gurria is backstage, and Austin tosses his ass to the floor too. Just a few minutes later, at 23 minutes, Austin comes out to the ring. He stuns Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown does a huge stunner bump, like ridiculous, like flying high in the air stunner bump. Like before Triple H ever did it.
The oversell?
Yeah.
The oversell of the stunner?
Yep.
I gotcha.
So he does that. That happened after an IC title match between Mark Henry and Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is the new Intercontinental Champion at this point. Austin stuns Ken Shamrock, Meat, and Jeff Jarrett after a match between Shamrock and Meat. Fucking Meat. It sounds so weird to say that. Meat. That guy probably could have been a bigger star if he wasn't Meat and tied to PMS.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had the look.
Yeah, he looked great. But meat. And they used him poorly. All right, Jeff Jarrett attacked Shamrock and busted him open with a guitar and applied an ankle lock. And we get what I basically already said. JR says it. No, Michael Cole says it. Stone Cold is on a rampage tonight. So that's what we have there, where we got this pissed off Stone Cold. And he's going to have an interview. Okay, just a brief one. But we haven't played anything with this guy, so I think it's a good opportunity to hear from Lucas. So Lucas is going to interview Stone Cold.
Such a rookie, this guy.
Take a listen.
Folks, we understand that Lucas is back in the locker room area outside Stone Cold's locker room. Lucas, you're going to ask Austin the question, who's the greater power?
Well, I just spoke with Mr. Austin, and he told me that he'll come out in a couple of minutes.
Okay, Lucas, well, we'll take Austin at his word.
So we'll have to wait until then. Well, Steve, the world wants to know, exactly who did you see underneath that robe?
I ain't gonna tell you who I saw. I don't think he's here tonight anyway. And if he ain't here tonight, I'll get his ass tomorrow night on Raw. And I'll tell you something right now. If you don't quit bothering me, you little bastard, I'll put you on my list. Do you understand?
So Stone Cold Steve Austin says the greater power isn't here tonight.
All right, so just prior to this interview, Michael Cole is telling Lucas, hey, go find Austin and ask him who the greater power is. And Lucas' response is pretty good. He goes, oh, okay, guy, good one. Thanks. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Go screw yourself. But yeah, this guy is nerd to the max. As John Bender says in Breakfast Clubs, he's a neo-maxi zoom dweeby.
Overkill.
And he's actually a professor at Yale. Just found that out from our Vantage Point podcast. They looked it up. Yeah. So
I guess I'm supposed to be impressed.
I don't know. He's still around. So Lucas actually worked with WWF until like 2007 too. That's Lucas.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ended up buying any stocks. I wonder if those were good for him, like a stock price.
No, I bet everybody got it.
Yeah.
But Lucas bugs Austin about who the greater power is. Austin declines to tell him who it is because the person isn't there tonight anyway. I like that because it gives you a little clue. Like, all right, somebody that is not here is the greater power. Who's not here? You could play that game. Yeah. So Austin then pushes Lucas' ass around a little bit, calls him a bastard, tell him to watch it, or he's going to find himself on Austin's list. Stone Cold's list. And I'm fixing to run through every single one of them. Remember that? How do you not remember that? Stone Cold's list. I'm fixing.
No, you cut out.
Oh, really?
You're cutting out. Yeah.
Oh well.
I think it's the internet. But what did you say?
No, I was just mentioning that Lucas is going to be on Austin's list, and I just reiterated when he said Austin's list.
Oh yeah.
From King of the Ring.
List. Yeah. That's like the birth.
Right.
Birth. Yeah.
Yep. So he mentioned it.
No, I totally didn't hear you, dude.
Man. Hopefully the audio got picked up, though. Because that's the thing. Since we're on separate tracks.
Yeah. 49-minute mark. I don't know if you want to take a break, and I can even edit that out if you want.
No, that's fine. Screw it.
Cool.
Okay.
Continue on.
So, Austin comes out after the main event, which is a King of the Ring qualifying match between Val Venus and Chyna. And Austin stuns 5 referees. He stuns Tony Garea, Sergeant Slaughter. He even drags Tony Kimmel into the ring. The show closes. So Austin is on fire. And that brings us now to Raw 315, June 7th, 1999. This is live in Boston, Massachusetts. So we get this great reveal happening in our backyard. I didn't realize that. It's also on our friend Bobby's birthday. June 7th. No. Is it his birthday? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, his birthday.
No, June 7th. Yeah.
All right.
No. So when I said my comment about Boston in the last coverage was wrong. Well, Vince catering to the Boston crowd because it was still in Molini.
Yeah, wine.
I got ahead of myself.
I don't know if anybody noticed.
Yeah, but still, we got another memorable moment in Boston.
Yeah, and we have this broken down. This is a long opening promo. It's like a half hour. half-hour promo. Basically, like half the show is this.
But it's good. It's all good audio, and I think we both agree that our listeners will probably appreciate it.
Yeah, instead of having to go back on the network, you get it here.
A break from our voices.
Yep. All right, so the first part of the promo is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon's going to come down to the ring, and he's dressed ready to wrestle. And he's talking about how he wants to know who the greater power is. So let's take a listen to Vince McMahon in this first part of the promo.
On with somebody.
There seems to be a great deal of interest in just who is this greater power. I admit my personal interest has been tweaked as well. I remember about 3 months ago when The Undertaker first made reference to the greater power. And ever since then, the greater power has been weaving his wicked web of evil. And if it's true what they say, that this greater power is even more demonic than The Undertaker, then quite frankly, I'd like to meet him.
Wow.
Although I think I already have. You see, speculation abounds as to just who this greater power really is. Some say the greater power is the commissioner himself, Shawn Michaels.
What do you think, JR?
Some say the greater power is one of the McMahon family members.
What?
Some say the greater power is Jake the Snake Roberts.
What? I've heard that.
Some say the greater power is even the bartender at the end of the block.
I heard that.
It really doesn't matter who the greater power is, because tonight I intend to go no holds barred with the greater power here in Boston.
Whoa! Man, that's quite a statement here in the early going.
You see, I believe the greater power is in fact a McMahon family member.
Bingo!
And that's why, Shane, I know you can hear my voice. Not only, Shane, am I challenging you to a no-holds-barred match here in Boston tonight.
What?
But just to sweeten the pot a bit, Shane, I'll put up my controlling 50% interest of the WWF if you put up your 50% of the WWF.
Whoa!
In other words, it's not just no holds barred tonight here in Boston. It's winner take all.
That's a father challenging his son. Whoa, wait a minute. There's the boy wonder himself, Shane McMahon. How'll he respond to his own father's challenge to a no-holds-barred match here tonight? Winner take all. The winner controls the WWF.
For the whole enchilada, the whole corporation, I accept. You're on. Tonight, it's me and you in that very ring. Man! However, your speculation that Shane McMahon is the greater power, I appreciate the compliment, but I assure you that I am not he. However, Vince, in just a few moments, I will personally have The Undertaker bring out the greater power in that very ring and reveal the greater power to the entire world. So Vince, by the time you get out of that ring, go to the back and have yourself yet another bowl of Wheaties, because you're going to need it. The Undertaker, in just a few moments, will reveal the entire corporate ministry, will reveal the greater power to all of you.
It doesn't sound like we're going to have to wait very long.
All right, so Vince comes out there, and he says everyone's interest is piqued in who the greater power is. And JV, you were right. He did say this in Boston. He said it could be HBK. It could be Jake Roberts.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no, I was right. Okay, yeah, 'cause, yeah, when you said that, you weren't referring to... Yeah, okay. All right, good.
He says it could be a family member of mine. Or it could be some bartender at the end of the block. From Sully's Tap across the street. From the Fleet Center. So, he plans on going no holds barred with the person tonight. He wants to know who's been causing all this trouble, and he'll go no holds barred with them. He knows it must be a family member, and that's why he's challenging Shane to a match tonight. So Vince challenges Shane for his 50%, and the winner will take it all. Winner take all. Shane makes his way out to the ramp, and then he says, on behalf of the entire corporation, he accepts. So Shane assures Vince that he is not the greater power, though. Shane says he will have The Undertaker reveal the greater power in a few moments. And just a moment later, we see Austin is talking to somebody in a limo. And then now, after a commercial break, they come back, and the corporate ministry's out with The Undertaker. We're going to get the reveal. And now this is a pretty lengthy part of the promo. But this is it. This is the reveal. This is good shit here.
And I just want to point out, anytime a limo showed up back in the 90s on either Nitro or Raw, it was like, oh, this is a big deal, especially when they didn't show who was in the limo.
Yeah, it's like, who's in the limo? Who's in the limo?
Yeah, this was cool shit. This was cool. Because there were like two storylines playing out now. Like, who's Austin talking to?
Yeah, what the hell's going on there? All right, so let's take a listen to the reveal.
Here we go. This is it.
For months on end, I prophesized of a power even greater than the Lord of Darkness. I assembled an army to prepare for his eventual arrival. And the ministry and the corporation laid the groundwork so non-believers, you must prepare for the day of reckoning, because it is at hand. So now, as all of us know, it must become apparent to you that he has arrived. So without further ado, I present the higher power.
Uh-oh. Can you see him? That's... is it Shane McMahon? All the corporate ministry members, excluding The Undertaker, are honoring the presence of the greater power by kneeling in the ring. Wow, this is creepy. Somebody more evil than The Undertaker? That's what is being said. Somebody with more power than the entire ministry? We first heard The Undertaker mention the greater power about 3 months ago. Wow, look at that. And again, great speculation that this is Shane McMahon. Come on, who is it? I think the greater power is about to address us all.
You see, I told you that Shane McMahon was not the greater power, but you didn't want to believe me.
What?
Well, now, maybe you do.
What, there's Shane.
Wait a
What the
minute.
hell's this? That's Shane.
You see, the greater power is omniscient. The greater power is a calculated.
I don't know, Jay. I'm back to square one now. All bets are off now. I thought it was Shane, but it can't be Shane McMahon.
The greater power is cold and calculated and a mastermind at screwing with people's minds.
Surely it's not Jake the
The
Snake.
greater power is also a master planner. The greater power is methodical in his methods and a master in human psychology. The greater power knows what makes all of us tick, each and every one of us. He knows our fears, he knows our strengths and our weaknesses, and exploits those fears, strengths, and weaknesses for the betterment of his corporate ministry and his own personal amusement. So who is this greater power?
Yeah, who is it?
Let's reveal the greater power to the entire world.
Yes!
But just wait 1 second, I need one witness. And Vince, I know you're back there, and I know you can hear me. Vince, I want you to come down here, and I will bestow the honor upon you. I will give you that honor to reveal the greater power to the entire world. Because, Vince, I can't wait to see your face. How about it, Vince? What do you say? What do you say, Vince?
Shane, I say I'm close enough right where I stand, right here and now. I say the games are over, Shane. I say the evil, demonic SOB show his face to the world now.
My gosh, JR, who is it? Here we go. Who could it be?
It's me, Austin!
Oh, son of a bitch!
What? It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
Damn, I cannot believe he's...
You all bought it! You all bought it! Hook, line, and sinker! You all bought it!
They did!
Even my family! Even my immediate family bought it!
Look at Shane!
Every damn one of you were made fools of!
You're a fool, JR!
But you know, I really didn't want to have to do it. Austin made me. Stone Cold Steve Austin made me fool you. He made me because, Austin, I had to teach you a lesson that you would never, ever forget. And now, Austin, now you know there is no price I will not pay. There is no depth that I will not stoop to make your life here on Earth, Austin, a total, complete, living hell.
What a sick thing. What a sick human being.
But right now, I'd like to thank my own flesh and blood, my son, Shane McMahon. And I would like to take this opportunity especially to thank the World Wrestling Federation champion, The Undertaker. I would like to thank Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Big Boss Man, Midian, everyone, China, everyone in the entire corporation. I'd like to thank everyone in the entire Menace. I'd like to thank...
Wait a minute.
Linda.
What is this?
Stephanie.
What are they doing here?
Wait a minute. Whoa.
That's just Vince's daughter, Stephanie.
All right, so let's get into it, starting from the top there. The Undertaker heads out, and he says it's been months that they've been talking about this greater power, a greater power than the Lord of Darkness, and he's assembled an army for his arrival, and the day of reckoning is at hand. I now present the higher power. I'm like, damn it, can't they stick with the greater power? How do they fuck it up right before and have to say the higher power?
I know, they have one fucking job. This guy's a character. You're basically getting this character's name wrong every fucking time.
So the greater power comes out to the ring in his druid gear, his Emperor Palpatine gear, with his hands all weird and stupid. The music hits. The corporate ministry kneels. JR thinks it's Shane, which I just mentioned moments ago that make no sense for it to be Shane. Like, he was been the leader of this corporate ministry all along, so that wouldn't make any sense. The greater power is going to grab the mic, and we hear Shane tell everyone he's not the greater power. I told you I'm not the greater power. Nobody wanted to believe me. And Shane then comes out on the stage. So at first you're thinking that it's Shane because you see the greater power with the mic, and then you hear Shane's voice. Shane wasn't out there. It's like, oh shit, maybe it is Shane. But then Shane steps out on the stage. Right.
Kills that.
So we get the asshole chance there. Shane explains that the greater power is cold and calculating and a mastermind at screwing with people's minds. The greater power is methodical in his methods and a master in human psychology. So Shane's going to reveal it to the world and bestow the honor onto his dad. He wants his dad to see it. So he wants Vince to come out and see who the greater power is. So Vince comes up on the Titantron, and he says, I'm close enough as I need to be. The games are over. The evil demonic beast must show his face to the world right now. So at 16 minutes, 55 seconds, the greater power slowly unveils who he is. And it's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, who's just on the Titantron, so we got a pre-recorded video there. They love doing that. They just did it.
Like, oh, we swerved you. Yeah.
And the initial reaction from JR is priceless. He goes, ah, son of a bitch. And then you get the classic, it was me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. I love that line, and I love the look on his face. You know, that's the best part of it. You know, you shit on the angle all you want, but that's still a great little clip, audio clip, video clip. And sometimes it takes shitty things to make you remember things. So it's kind of more notorious or infamous. But if it was just blah, then we wouldn't remember it.
No, this is definitely memorable. It was no, it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
No.
Like it was entertaining, right? Everyone was fucking entertained. Like wow. Yep. Like wow. Like Vince got that petty. He put this type of that's petty.
Right.
And you put this type of scheme.
Right,
together,
he screwed his own family.
This big elaborate lie just to get Austin. He fucking, like you said, he screwed his own family.
He just wanted to trick Austin.
Yeah, he's letting fucking Taker send his daughter dick pics. And what the fuck you doing, dude?
Man, he's really obsessed with Austin. That's why. He says
I'm convinced. I'm convinced now.
You all bought it. You all bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Even my family, you were all made fools of. Shane's all excited and smiling. I didn't want to do it, Austin, but you made me. Austin, I had to teach you a lesson you'll never forget. I want to make your life a complete living hell. So that matches up with what he's been doing all along, but in this case, he just wanted to pull the wool over him. So Vince thanks the entire corporate ministry. And like I was just saying, this is a classic moment. I like it, though. Looking back at it now, because it was a break. You know, you had that period of... It wasn't very long. You know, it's like a month, but it's a little break from the constant Austin McMahon back and forth. So McMahon kind of stepped back for a little bit, and now he's right back in, and they can revitalize the feud and start it kind of fresh going towards SummerSlam or into the summer. So pretty good. Just it was a little break. Now they're going to be back at it again. So from there, the promo continues on. Not over yet. Okay, we get this great reveal, but we still haven't seen Austin. But before that, we're going to have Linda and Stephanie come out, and apparently they were in the limo. Yeah, because it definitely was Linda. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be them, and it was definitely at least Linda. Maybe not Linda and Steph, but...
So now Steph and Linda are both at the top of the ramp.
Yep.
And Steph's going to ask why he had to be so cruel. Well, take a listen to Linda, because she actually does a good job on the mic here. We'll talk about it in a moment.
What is this?
Stephanie?
What are they doing here?
Wait a minute. Whoa.
That's just Vince's daughter, Stephanie, and his wife, Linda.
Stephanie, Linda, what are you doing here?
Dad, Shane, how could you be so cruel to me?
That's a hell of a good question, young lady.
We weren't trying to be cruel. We really weren't trying to hurt you, Stephanie. You see, it's just business. I mean, love doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just business. We still love you, Stephanie. Shane, we still love you. We love you.
She didn't know. They used Stephanie.
Well, Vince,
what?
Let's talk business.
What? That's Mrs.
Linda,
McMahon.
The first thing that I would like to say, I would like to publicly say to my wife, Linda, that I love you.
There you go. Do you think he means it?
Yes.
And Vince, I love you. But in your own words, love has nothing to do with business.
What?
Wait a minute. You don't want to go there.
Oh, yes, I do want to go there. Yes, I do. First of all, I want to correct the lie. The lie that you've told everyone that you and Shane each own 50% of this company.
What do you mean a lie? I don't know.
You very well know that there are 4 of us and that we own 4 equal shares.
Uh-oh. Really?
You also know that you didn't build this company by yourself. While you were out front doing your thing, I and a lot of others were behind the scenes helping to grow and make this company successful. We've all worked equally as hard as you have. And this morning, I called an emergency meeting of the board of directors.
What?
I wasn't notified.
You weren't notified? That's really unfortunate. But let me assure you there are going to be some changes around the office. Changes starting with the dress code.
Dress code?
Yeah, the dress code. It's going to be a little less formal, more casual at the office. In fact, cut-off jeans might be the dress of the day at the office.
Cut-off jeans?
Number 2, how about a little profanity in the office? Well, every now and then a little sprinkling of profanity, if the situation warrants, at the office would be just fine.
What the?
And 3rd, drinking on the job. Yep.
What?
Yes. At the end of a long, hard day at the office, how about an ice-cold alcoholic beverage to quench your thirst?
You gotta be kidding me!
But Vince, what all this means is that earlier today, I stepped down as the CEO of this company.
You what?
But not before I handpicked my own successor.
Oh no.
And that successor, that new CEO, will have full power and privileges to run this company as he sees fit. So, Vince, Shane, allow Stephanie and me to introduce you to the new CEO.
Oh no, this can't be.
All right, so Steph asks him, how can you be so cruel? Vince McMahon tries to cover his ass, says, I'm not being cruel, I love you, it's just business, we still love you, it's only business. So Linda has the mic. She said, oh, you want to talk business? You want to talk business? Vince tells her that he loves her, she loves him too, but love has nothing to do with business, which was a nice line. He said, I love you, but like I said, love has nothing to do with business. So Linda reminds Vince that the family owns 4 equal shares. Linda reveals that Shane and Vince do not own 50% each. Linda points out that Vince was out in front of the company, and this probably has some truth to it. Linda says, you were out in front of the company, but there's a lot of people, like myself, behind the scenes that help make this company successful. But yeah, you wanted to be the guy doing the announcing and always being on the screen. But there's a bunch of us that actually were getting this company going. So Linda says she made an emergency board meeting. Vince says he wasn't notified. Well, Linda says, well, that's unfortunate. Linda says there's going to be a new dress code. It's going to be more casual, less formal at the office. Linda says you can wear jean shorts, some profanity, even drinking on the job.
She's an HR nightmare.
So she's obviously alluding to Austin because these are all Austin-related things here. Jean shorts, profanity, and beer.
Oh, you mean Linda McMahon coming out like that? Smashing back beers?
Well, she says she's going to step down. She's like, that doesn't fit my personality, so I'm stepping down as a CEO of the company. But not before handpicking a successor. That successor, that CEO, will have full powers to run the company as he sees fit. So Vince, Shane, allow for me and Stephanie to introduce the new CEO. And then you had it. Austin's music, JR is pumped. That happens at 23 minutes and 46 seconds. And Austin heads out now. And we're going to get him in his first night as the CEO. And he's going to be making matches, wheeling and dealing here. And he comes out with a tie on. Just a tie. You know, he has his jersey shirt on, and then he has a tie over it. And Austin's going to shake Linda and Stephanie's hand. And Austin says he had a week to work out this deal with Linda. So he got revealed too. And immediately Austin went running to Linda and basically just like tattletaled. Like, this is what your husband's doing. This is what happened here.
Yeah, maybe smart for a dumb redneck, right?
So, that's who was in the limo, and that's who he's been talking to. So he shared the information, but he shared it with somebody that could actually do something.
Yeah, someone with power. Equal power.
So, let's listen to Stone Cold CEO in his first night on the job.
Yeah, his first meeting as manager.
All right, take a listen.
They're standing there dumbfounded.
Well, I think you heard what happened at the meeting today, so let's go ahead and start with that dress code thing. I can go ahead and take off this power tie because I no longer need this power tie because, Vince, you always know that old Stone Cold always has the power finger, so here's to you. And I apologize for all this paperwork and the clipboards. That's not usually my style, but hell, when you take a sumbitch like me and you put him in a corporate setting, it takes a while to get the adjustments down just right. But as you always say, Vince, nonetheless, in any event, these corporate problems and solutions notwithstanding, you can bet your ass that Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to do everything in his power to make this transition as soon as possible.
This is awful, JR. I think I'm going to like this. Rattlesnakes don't make good CEOs.
Hell, I'm starting to get used to this corporate crap already. Now let's get down to business. What we decided at this meeting today, Vince, is at a later time, place, and conditions to be determined by me, the CEO, I will have a title match, and I will take back my WWF title.
He's calling the shots!
Number 2, and look at me when I speak to you, you little bastard, you ain't got but 25% chump change. You look at me, delegate this authority, I'll come down and beat your damn brains in. For the immediate future, Vince, my focus is on you and your little boy Wonder there right beside you. At our next pay-per-view event, which is King of the Ring, and nobody knows more than Stone Cold Steve Austin how important that damn event is, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be in a handicap match. And it will be me in one corner, and Vince, it'll be you and that little bastard son of yours in the other corner.
Wow! Stone Cold versus both the McMahons at the King of the Ring.
Finally, for the record, I get to beat both your asses at one time, and that's all I got to say about that.
Shane McMahon is not he's not.
Well, let me tell you something. You're on, pal. The two of us, two McMahons, can take an Austin any day of the week.
Right.
Now, I may have to have a few stipulations here and there, but Pally, you're on.
Nonetheless, those stipulations notwithstanding, I really don't give a rat's ass what you think, Vince. Now, moving on to our next little deal. Shane, you come out here throwing your weight around, but like I said, you got your little chump change 25%. I'm gonna let a son of a bitch really show you how to delegate authority since I got my 50% right here in my back pocket. Little game you played last week with X-Pac and Kane, screwing them out of the titles. You think you're some kind of big shot, your little suit over there? I think you look like a piece of crap.
Believe this.
You want to play games? Here's what I got for you. Tonight, Shane, you will be in a handicap match, and it will be you, your little yellow ass, in one corner, and in that other corner, you will have X-Pac and Kane.
Oh, Lord! The Royal Wonder's going down tonight!
Hey, but I'm a good sport, so I will say good luck, you little bastard. All right. As far as the rest of the card goes for the evening's festivities, hell, Vince, I know that you screwed me around, but in the process, you walked on a couple other people, so what I'm going to do with the rest of the members of the union the 3 remaining members, as my notes tell me here, that would be Shamrock, Test, and Show. They get a free pass tonight. Tonight, on Raw, they can have a match with anybody in this damn building that they see fit with, and that's what I got to say to them.
Anybody? Big opportunity for the Union tonight.
As far as Mick Foley goes, and he's not here with us tonight, and on a personal note, I'd like to say, get well, Mick Foley, you crazy bastard.
Jeez.
Triple H, you're and your little sidekick China there. You like to cripple people, hit somebody in the knee with a sledgehammer, that's all fine and well. Because as vicious as that was, I kind of liked it the most. Tonight, you're going to see what it feels like to be on the other end of the stick here, son. Because what you're going to do, and I think this is probably a first, is have a cast match. Now, what does that mean, Stone Cold? It means this. Since The Rock's arm is in a cast, I figure what you do, and you got 2 good legs there, is we're going to put your damn leg in a full cast all the way up to your little hip, and you get to wrestle The Rock in a leg cast tonight on Raw.
That's a first. I've never heard of that. How can he do that?
And I don't care how you go about it, if you just go limping around like this and let The Rock beat the hell out of you, maybe that's what's going to happen. That's pretty much the festivities for this night. Now, if anybody in that ring has a problem with the rules that old Stone Cold is laying down right now, you can find my dressing room back there, get your ass in line, knock on a door, and if I ain't busy drinking too much beer, I'll open the summit up and talk to you. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Well, I can't believe it. What a blockbuster. Vince McMahon is the...
All right, so Austin out there with this tie. He takes off his power tie. He says, I can take this power tie off now. He said, I don't need it. The new dress code. He says, but you always know I had the power finger. And then he pegs off McMahon. Austin has a clipboard with him. Like, okay, he's the CEO. He's not like the
yeah, he's not a fucking
right, he's not like a warehouse manager or something. He's got his clipboard.
yeah. He's not like CEO does not walk around with anything. He just walks around with other people.
They have everything.
Yeah. And he makes a decision based on what they give him.
So Austin has his clipboard. He has his beer. Austin explains that, based on the meeting that they had, that Austin will have a title match, and he's going to take back his title. Some good news there. Austin tells Vince to look at him while he talks to him. Like Vince likes to tell people, look at me when I'm talking to you. He says, look at me when I'm talking to you, I'll beat your brains in. Austin mentions how important the King of the Ring is. I thought that was cool that he mentions that because it springboarded him.
Yeah, look at me now.
So Austin makes the match for King of the Ring. Austin versus Shane and Vince. So Austin's going to be in a handicap match. Says, finally, I get both of your sorry asses. And that's all I got to say about that. So Vince accepts the match. 2 McMahons can take on Austin any day of the week. Vince says he's had some stipulations, but he's on, Pally. So Vince wants to add stipulations. Of course he wants to add stipulations. What the fuck? Always has to be a damn stipulation. So now Shane is trying to throw his weight around there, saying that he has his share of the company, and Austin reminds Shane that, you look like a piece of crap, which I thought was funny and out of nowhere. He's like, hey, you look like a piece of crap in that suit.
total fucking shot at his fucking look.
Austin calls him out for acting like a big shot and taking the titles away from Kane and X-Pac because the Acolytes had won them thanks to Shane. Austin sets up Shane versus X-Pac and Kane for later in the night. Austin wishes him luck and then calls him a little bastard. He says the Union, Shamrock, Test, and Big Show can have a match with anyone they want. They have a blank check to do what they want tonight. And they said Mick Foley's not here, but he hopes he gets well. He calls him a crazy bastard. Triple H in China. He says Triple H in China, his little sidekick China, like to go around crippling people. So Triple H is going to be in a cast match with The Rock. So The Rock is in a cast. So now Triple H is going to have to put on a cast. He's going to be wearing a leg cast in a match against The Rock. And then Austin is sitting with Steph and Linda backstage after this promo. They shake hands, and Linda McMahon gives him a special corporate gift, gives him a briefcase, and Austin opens it up, and it's filled with Natty Ice. And Austin cracks up. Yeah, no
college beer.
Austin cracks a few of them open, and they share their drinks. And that wraps up the reveal, the greater power, and we got into it. It's not as bad in reality, than people put it off to be. Yeah, it's not the best, well thought out thing, but it was going. They were going to get back to that direction anyway of Austin McMahon. So this is the way that they decided to do it. A lot of the shit with the Undertaker and what he did to Stephanie, that kind of seems weird. But it was probably going in one direction at one point, and then they turned it around. They probably couldn't find somebody to be the greater power, so they said, fuck it, let's make it Vince. So I'm sure they weren't setting out for it to be Vince right away. It's almost like Undertaker was saying this nonsense in his promos months ago, and then they thought, well, since you said that, let's do something with that.
Yeah, since you said nothing.
Right, you said greater power.
No one was probably, and nobody's probably listening.
Right. Yeah, so let's use that character. Maybe they just went from there. I couldn't find a whole lot of behind the scenes shit on that angle. It's all just speculation from people. But anyway. Yeah. Well, actually, maybe Vince Russo has a take on it, but I haven't listened to anything that he's had to say.
Well, he has a lot of content too, so it'd probably be a bitch to dig.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. If it's
he's probably he's pretty open about talking about stuff. So I would be shocked if he hasn't spoken about.
He must have, but there's not going to be an episode that says greater power, So yeah, it would be tough to find it. Well, if anybody has listened to it and you remember listening to him talk about it, then share that information with us. I know our friend out there, Frank Alves. I know he listens to us on a weekly basis, and he used to listen to Vince Russo. So maybe he'll hook us up with where to find that. All right, so coming up next week, we'll get more into what else Austin does as the CEO. But let's now get to our Attitude Era update of what was going on these past couple of weeks, starting with the Union and the rest of the corporate ministry. What was going on with them? On Raw 314 from May 30th, you get Billy Gunn versus the Big Show. Big Show chokeslams Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's being pushed at this point, but Big Show is also, and Big Show gets the win over Billy Gunn pretty easily. And we get a Mankind promo, and good promo, but it ends up in Mankind getting his ass kicked by the Big Boss Man by the end of it. And then they fight leading into the next match. Boss Man has a match with the Road Dogg, but Mankind's going to get injured in later in the night. So it starts off here. He gets injured a little bit, and that's going to lead to a match between Mankind and Triple H, and that's going to be no holds barred, falls count anywhere. And that was a pretty solid match. But Chyna's going to get involved, and she's going to bring out the Sledgehammer. So the Sledgehammer is making another appearance. So it's becoming Triple H's thing here at this point. So he used it. Yeah, he used it on the coffin during the casket match, and now he's using it here. So he injured The Rock with it. Now he's injuring Mankind with it. Mankind gets carted off into the ambulance. And this is what Steve Austin was talking about. He's like, oh, you like to go around crippling people. So he's just pointing that out, that Triple H and Chyna's little sidekick have been causing a lot of issues. So this is just one of those issues here. That's why he puts him in the cast match against The Rock, which we'll get to in a moment. On Raw 315, the Union has a promo, and this is in reaction to Austin saying that Big Show, Test, and Shamrock have a blank check, and they can pick what they want to do. So basically what happens is Big Show wants a title match. He wants to face The Undertaker. Test wants to talk to Stephanie McMahon, and he's going to ask her out on a date. So she comes out. He gets on his knees. Test gets on his knees. He asks Stephanie if he can go out. And Shane and Vince like lose their mind backstage, and Vince is even like on the verge of tears. And then also McMahon was just shitting his pants because it's supposed to be a Lions Den match between Jeff Jarrett and Ken Shamrock. But Ken Shamrock says Jeff Jarrett can wait. He wants Vince McMahon in the ring in the Lions Den. So he wants him in the Lions Den because, and this made sense. I'm glad they did this, and Ken Shamrock did a good job on the mic with this. He was saying that, I'm the one that stepped up and helped you look for Stephanie and put myself out there for you. And
yeah, he put his fucking safety on the line.
And it was a game the whole time.
Yeah, he got played. He was just a pawn in the game. It was really good callback here. Good storytelling to kind of bring it full circle.
So that was good. That worked out. So Shamrock wants him in the ring. Then that brings us now to all the different matches that Austin made. You get X-Pac and Kane against Shane McMahon. It's not going to be much of a match. We're going to get the Mean Street Posse returning. They're in the crowd. They're dressed up as Mankind and Kane, and they come over the railing and get in. And then Briscoe and Patterson come from behind and toss them back into the ring, and Kane starts to kick their ass. So we don't really get a real finish here. And then you have that cast match, Triple H versus The Rock. So it's like Triple H is like the one-legged man in this match.
His leg is overly cast.
It's huge. It's a huge-ass cast. And he's just barely getting around, but still they're putting together a decent short match. They hit each other with the chair a few times, a couple of chair shots. Undertaker's going to run in and chokeslam The Rock. Earl Hebner's going to call for the bell. He becomes the DQ. Taker sets up the chair for a tombstone. He tombstones The Rock onto it. And it looks like we're starting to get an Undertaker Rock angle happening here. So The Rock's getting pushed towards championship. But Austin said he's going to get his title back. So who knows where they're going with it at this point. But they want to keep The Rock on top with the champ. So that's what they're doing there. Vince McMahon and Shamrock have that Lions Den match. Vince tries to lock himself inside before Shamrock gets in. Shamrock's trying to push it open. But Jeff Jarrett comes from behind and hits Shamrock over the head with the guitar. So Shamrock ends up falling into the Lions Den. And McMahon immediately goes to put on an ankle lock. And Shamrock's already knocked out from the chair shot, so the referee calls the match and gives the win to Vince. So Vince McMahon gets a win over Ken Shamrock in a Lions Den match. That's pretty funny. Then you get the world title match.
Do they get? Do we find out why Double J gets in?
Well, they were supposed to have a match that night. Jeff Jarrett and Shamrock.
Right. So is that Shamrock's next feud?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep. Okay. So we got Undertaker versus Big Show for the WWF Championship. Undertaker now has the Big Eagle Championship belt. So put away the smoking skull and using the big Eagle. Big Show picks up Taker over his shoulder. Taker slides behind and shoves Show into the post. Taker hits Big Show with a chair shot to the head, and he stands on Big Show and then shoves the referee down. Continues to fight on. So he gets some good action in this match, inside and outside the ring. But the big part, the memorable part here, is the chokeslam. So earlier in the night, in that Union promo, the Big Show said that he was going to chokeslam the Undertaker all the way to hell. And that's what he did. So Big Show's going to chokeslam him and might not go to hell, but he's going to go through the ring. Through the ring. So big moment for back in 99 here. Big Show, big-ass chokeslam, and Big Show looking like the man to end this episode of Raw. You get the rest of the ministry comes out. Bradshaw comes out, gets chokeslammed. Farouk comes out, gets chokeslammed. Taker crawls out of the hole and leaves. Then Mideon comes down and gets chokeslammed. So the show ends with Big Show on top, looking like the big star. So they're trying to push him, build him up a little bit more, because they started off really shitty with him. So now they're trying to fix that by making him look strong against The Undertaker and the Corporation. And he looks good. So that wraps up that segment. Okay, we're on the road to King of the Ring at this point now, and on Heat. It's exclusive to Heat, which makes the Heats a little bit better to watch because they actually have some flow with these matches instead of just random matches. At least these matches mean something. So you get on Heat 44, you get a nice recap of Austin winning the King of the Ring in '96. Then they show Triple H winning in '97, and then Ken Shamrock in '98. And my first thought was, wow, the King of the Ring just fell apart after Austin won it.
Yeah, it did.
It couldn't compete.
I don't understand because it's such a great concept and it's easy too. Like, I don't understand how they fuck it up all the time. Should be a tournament, all on the same pay-per-view.
Right.
Wrestle multiple times, and that's what it is. Instead, they drag them over Raws,
right.
And people don't give a fuck about King of the Ring. It's a joke. Baron Corbin's King of the Ring. I know you're a big Baron Corbin guy. But the King of the Ring is only holding him back. It's not hurting him. I mean, it's not helping him. It's doing more harm than good, in my opinion.
Yeah, just the whole King gimmick is,
it's stupid. You can win King.
Or not be a King.
Win a fucking tournament that has the word King. Like the Home Run King in baseball.
Right.
Doesn't fucking walk around in the offseason dressed like fucking Burger King. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, just the whole gimmick part of it is what's shitty. And I guess for some it works, but usually not. Not in this day and age, anyway. Alright, so we got King of the Ring qualifiers here. You got Jeff Jarrett against Ken Shamrock. Who the hell even won that match? I think Ken Shamrock. Yeah, Ken Shamrock advances. Yeah, Ken Shamrock advances, beating Jeff Jarrett. So that is partly why they're having this feud also. Because in this qualifier, Shamrock beat Jeff Jarrett, and he hit him with a chair after. Not a chair, fucking guitar. Next qualifier, Al Snow versus Hardcore Holly. Holly gets the win. He advances. X-Pac versus Big Boss Man. X-Pac advances there. Billy Gunn versus Viscera. And you're going to get Billy Gunn advancing with the Famouser. And then the next week on Heat, from June 6th, you had Road Dogg versus Godfather. Road Dogg gets the win. Billy Gunn is in a little feud with Road Dogg at this time. And they're both in the tournament at this point. Big Show versus Droz. Droz gets crushed by Big Show, and then Austin kicks his ass in the back.
Not a good night for Droz.
No. Droz comes out like the fucking Mad Hatter with the big ass hat.
He looks not a good look.
Ugh. Then you get Test versus Kane. Kane wins, but I think Test should have won. This is babyface. He's in the Union.
Yeah. I'm glad Test didn't win. He didn't need a push.
No. But instead, they're going to have him get connected with Stephanie.
Oh, that's true.
So he's getting that kind of push instead.
It's almost a better rub at that point.
Actually, it is. Yeah. Chyna versus Val Venus. So they make it a point to say Chyna was the first woman to be in a Royal Rumble. Now she's going to be the first to be in the King of the Ring tournament. And Chyna advances. Chyna beats Val Venus and advances to the first round of King of the Ring. And Austin actually runs in after that match and hits stunners on everybody other than Triple H. Alright, so that's the King of the Ring update. On the IC title scene, Jeff Jarrett defeated Godfather on May 30th to win the Intercontinental title. And then he defends the title against Mark Henry the following week on Heat. And that's it. So we got Jeff Jarrett as the champion. And like I said, he's looking like he's going into a feud with Ken Shamrock. In the Hardcore division, which has been the home of my Oh Hell Knows for a while. This is another Oh Hell no moment right here. So there's going to be a hardcore championship match, Al Snow versus Draws. Before the match, Michael Cole's interviewing Draws and Prince Albert in the back. And it's not much of an interview because Draws pukes. And then immediately Prince Albert pukes because Draws puked. And I was like, this is fucking oh hell no right here. So they go out, they puke. Then they have their match. And it's a typical match where it's just all of the arena and you have different spots. And this is in Boston. This match is happening in Boston on the June 7th Raw. And they're at the Fleet Center. And they fight into one of the bars. And that's where the match ends. And it ends after Al Snow hits him with some random item. I don't even know what the hell it was, but he just knocks him out and gets the win.
Wasn't head.
Yeah, it wasn't head. There's no more head. There's no more deer head. Oh, man. So Al Snow is tied to a lot of oh hell no moments for me. All right, tag team title scene. The Acolytes win the tag team championship from Kane and X-Pac. That happened on Raw 315 from May 31st. Shane McMahon is the one that kind of causes that. Shane McMahon has a chair and sets up X-Pac to get hit with it when he attempts a Bronco Buster, so he hits the chair instead. Kane goes after Shane. The Acolytes finish him off. They win the titles.
Which is good for them.
Yeah.
I like those guys. So.
Yep. The Acolytes put a challenge out there for anybody. And the next night, the Brood steps up to the challenge on Raw 315 from June 7th. And Brood doesn't really stand the chance. But Bradshaw and Farouk will get a bloodbath at the end. So we got new champs there. We got new champs all over the place. You got new world champion, new IC champion.
Yeah, complete reshuffling.
Yep, reshuffling of the deck going into the summer. And then you have we have a bikini contest between Deborah and Nicole Bass on June 6th. Nicole Bass.
I tell you what, she got a nice body though.
I was gonna say it. I was like she got a nice body, but actually, her face.
Like props to her. She's that's a girl. That's a woman that takes care of herself.
Right. It's a damn fit body. Just that the face is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's not. Yeah, she's too much definition.
Yeah. And she's huge. She's like 6'4".
She's tall.
But yeah, nice legs. Nice. Yeah. People would probably be thinking, "What are you talking about? It's Nicole Bass." Hey,
yeah, but seriously, look at her though. Like,
right? You gotta
like,
find.
I get it. It's like she's not a beautiful woman by any means. But like, she's got a really nice body and she takes care of it. Like, I don't know if she was like prettier and like 6 inches smaller. I don't think many people would be like, "Oh, her body looks like shit," you know?
Yeah. No, they wouldn't.
Or she looks too manly.
Or if you just say her face.
Yeah, it's the other manly attributes, I think, of her that don't help.
Like, I think her body's more attractive than Chyna's body.
Me too.
But I would give the face to Chyna, I guess. And
yeah. I would too. Like this Chyna face. I don't know about like first debut Chyna.
No, yeah. Now face. Not later face either.
Yeah.
Not later Chyna, not early Chyna, but Chyna right now, 99. We could create a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah. The greatest women's wrestler of all time. That never was.
All right, so let's move on to some of the last stuff we got here. PMS and Meat. Nothing really to talk about there. They're just still hanging around. Ryan Shamrock is randomly still hanging around. And that's all we're really going to say there. The Brood and the Hardy Boys feud continues on. But it only continues on in this one little segment. It's a match. It's Christian versus Beaver Cleavage making his debut. He comes out with Leave the Beaver type music. He ends up winning the match because the Hardy Boys ran in. And,
it's a good match, good start. He showed a lot of promise. I mean, for the start of the match.
Yeah.
I caught that match. I don't know why of all the matches, like there's obviously some I didn't watch, but that one I watched and good worker.
And great work. And the one thing I didn't notice, and they did mention it in one of the vignettes, and I just barely heard it. And then now that I saw the graphic, I was like, oh shit, I did say that his name is Harry Beaver Cleavage. Like he has a hairy beaver. Harry Beaver. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's Harry Beaver.
No, that didn't really hit me until you just mentioned it, actually.
All right, so he gets his first win. And then there's a new thing that's going on. It's GDTV. And the first installment of this GDTV, which is just kind of like a hidden camera, or just a camera placed somewhere where, hidden camera, yeah. Say a camera placed where nobody could see it. So there's this hidden camera segment going on, and Mark Henry's taking a shit, and D'Lo is grossed out.
The biggest shit ever.
So it's GDTV, but then on Heat, on June 6th, so just under a week later, they replay that same skit, but now it's not GDTV anymore. It's just GTV. So they changed the name after just 1 week. And then from what I heard, just rumors and speculation of what GDTV was supposed to be, it's supposed to be Goldust TV. So it was maybe a new angle for Goldust.
Yeah. Go back to his production, where we started, really.
Yeah.
It's like a movie dude.
Right. So then I guess they scratched that, and they didn't know where they were going to go with it from there. So then it ultimately just totally gets scratched. Another reason why it makes sense that it's Goldust, because one of these other segments that they played on June 7th was the girls of PMS in the dressing room talking about sex and talking about men, and Val Venus and Mr. Ass. And then I think it's Ryan asked Terry about Dustin. And Terry says he has a small dick. So this may have been tied to Goldust at that point, because Dustin is referenced here, even though he hasn't been on TV for a while, and I don't think he's coming back to TV, so I think that's why they scratch it ultimately. But yeah, probably would have sucked anyway if they kept it going.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's it for our Attitude Era update and for the Greater Power this week. And next week we'll be getting into episode 51, which will be covering most of June 1999. And episode title's already made. It's Stone Cold CEO, because he's going to be visiting the office next week and making some changes in the boardroom meetings, and he's going to be setting up some matches. He even has another match against Big Boss Man.
A lot more jeans in that board.
And right. And I think we'll get to King of the Ring, Austin versus Shane and Vince, next week also on episode 51. Yeah, but let's continue our bottom line wrap up here, and we got the house shows going on. I haven't looked ahead, but let me take a look now. I'm gonna guess Austin probably doesn't do much, but let's take a look. All right, so starting on June 5th, right? So they cancel a bunch of shows out of respect to Owen Hart, because a lot of those shows were in Canada, so they canceled them all. And then June 5th, they're in Springfield, Mass. And what do you know? Austin is not on the card. June 6th is the Long Island taping of Sunday Night Heat. Following night, June 7th, is the Boston Fleet Center Raw.
Yep, Rob's birthday.
Yep, and that's it. That's as far as we got up to. So, nothing. Austin didn't wrestle on any of the house shows. There's only one house show, and he didn't wrestle on it in Springfield. So that's that. JV, let's do our oh hell yeah moment of the week. What do you got?
I have, for the oh hell yeah moment, gotta be Big Show chokeslam and Taker through the ring.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That had to be it for me. I mean, I know there's the other stuff, but that was just fucking cool. And I remember being like, thinking that was cool then. So
yeah, I loved it. I had actually finished up watching stuff today, and I was like, oh, cool. I forgot about this, and it was nice to see it again. I was like, oh shit, that was pretty badass, and it was like the last thing that happened.
Yeah, it's the OG of it happened. 'Cause, they always try to mimic stuff now.
Right, and it's always involving Big Show. So this is his first thing here. All right, so I'll go with my oh hell yeah moment, and I'm gonna go to the main storyline. I'm gonna go to the reveal, and it's not Vince McMahon. It's not, it's me, Austin. It was always me. I actually say oh hell yeah with Linda McMahon coming out and reminding Vince and Shane that they have equal shares, and that Stephanie and Linda gave up their share of the company, their percentage of the company, and gave it to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I just like that promo. She's like matter of fact, all business. If you thought Vince was a tough business worker.
I mean, it's good for Linda. You don't see her on the TV all the time. So, some of these people that are on TV every week looked a lot worse than she did for someone that's, very, very part-time. Not even part-time. She's like fucking one-off.
Right. So I give that the oh hell yeah. Especially the part where she's like, we can wear jeans now, jean shorts. You can drink on the job. So just like the setup to it's going to be Austin as the CEO. That was pretty cool. So, oh hell yeah for that. Stone Cold is the new CEO of the WWF. And I did notice one thing that's funny. I didn't mention it before, but Big Show, he comes out during that Union promo, and he's kissing Austin's ass. He says, "Oh, he's not only the baddest son of a bitch I've ever met, but he's the baddest son of a bitch boss that I've ever worked for." It's like kiss ass.
Oh, hell no!
All right, oh hell no. What do you got for an oh hell no moment, JV?
Undertaker in the first promo we covered. Oh. So the Undertaker part of the promos where he's like creepy and it just sounds like shit.
Yeah. That's pretty shitty. I already said mine. Basically, it's the puking. Yeah. It's Draws and Prince Albert doing back-to-back puke job.
Yeah, that's not shit you need to put on TV.
And then
save that for the snuff video or the internet.
Yeah. And then in close tie, it was either gonna be either one, but the whole GDTV, and especially the Mark Henry one because it was just like fart noises for a minute. It's funny, but I didn't want to listen to it for a minute. Right. All right, so those are our oh hell yeah, oh hell no moments of the week. And like I said, next week we'll be back with episode 51, Stone Cold CEO, June of 99. But before we get out of here, let's give some plugs to our pals like Talking Taker. Talking Taker, they cover the career of The Undertaker, much like we do here on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. And this week coming up is episode 113 for them, and they are currently in 2005. So they've been at it for a while, 2 years into the show. So go back. There's a lot of good stuff in their archives. Talking Taker. Also, take a listen to Alex Dorio plug his show, Talking Taker.
Dead man walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the dead man, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore The Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss The Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said take her easy.
All right, also check out Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where they are breaking down NWA WCW Saturday night episodes starting from 85. They are currently in 1988, and this week coming up on Thursdays, as they always drop, they are covering June 11th, 1988. And then on Sundays, they drop another show called the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Recap, and they are almost towards the end. They're at episode 164, covering March 18th, 1995. So again, check out Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. And like I said at the top of the show, check out their Patreon, patreon.com, Booking the Territory. $5 here, you'll get more of JV and I. And as I said at the top, we do the Extreme ECW Live Cast, and we are covering August 31st and September 7th, 1993, with our special guest that you've heard here before, Jay Free from Free Your Geek. With that said, also check out his show, Free Your Geek, for all different types of pop culture news and discussions. And JV and I also did a show, we just recorded a show of Free Your Geek with Jay Free, and we're doing a draft. We did a fantasy draft for WWE, for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
This was a lot of fun.
That was great. Yeah, that went well. So we did a lot of, we did our picks, and we did fantasy booking, and how our divisions would be, and who would be feuding against each other. It was all pretty cool shit. I had fun with that. So that's coming out either this week or the beginning of next week. So keep a lookout for that, but in the meantime, also check out his previous shows. There's something for everybody in there. So take a look at Free Your Geek. All right, you want to reach out to us? We're on Twitter. JV and I are on Twitter at MPRU83. That's me.
What?
JV's at John Van Damage. In our show, Bottom Line Cast, at Bottom Line Cast.
What?
Okay, please consider giving us a 5-star review on iTunes, on Apple Podcast. I think iTunes is gone now, right?
What?
Yeah, there's no one.
Oh, that's what they don't call it that anymore?
Yeah, I think it's just Apple Podcasts now.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so no more iTunes, so leave us a review on Apple Podcast.
What?
And also on Facebook. Facebook Underrated. We have that page. We keep up with that. If you want to message us on there, it's Bottom Line Cast also. Thanks, guys, for listening. Next week, like I said, we'll be back. Stone Cold's the CEO. He's going to be tearing shit up at Titan Towers. JV, any final words?
No final words, man.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. So long. Until next time.
You know what? Actually, wait. Cheers to another 50 episodes, bro.
Hell yeah. That's an oh hell yeah moment right there. 50 episodes in. Let's start on our next 50. Because I think it's going to take about 50 more. We'll see. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. We are out.